At long last, my dream has finally come true. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video where I'll be sharing my experience with Kiwi Ear's newest release. I know that escalated quickly from the Quartet, didn't it? Anyway, this is the Kiwi Ear's Quintet, an IEM with 5 drivers, but 4 different driver configurations. So our first quad Brit from Kiwi Ears, and in this IEM, there's the typical dynamic driver, 2BA driver, but also a planar magnetic driver and a piezoelectric driver. Finally, my wish of wanting planar to be incorporated in a multi-driver configuration has finally come true. I know planar magnetic has been incorporated before, but I have yet to hear a good implementation of it, and this is the first time it's in this many driver configurations, so I'm very excited yet nervous on how this will sound. But before we begin, I'd like to thank Linso for this opportunity, and as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. But I'll leave links in the description down below if you'd like to check Linso out, and if you've been enjoying my content, do consider hitting that like and subscribe button. That really helps the channel a lot and it gives me the opportunity to share experiences like these with you. Okay, let's talk accessories. As you've probably seen from the clip, they kept the unboxing experience somewhat similar from the Quartet, aside from having no text greeting you when you unboxed it, unlike the Quartet. In terms of accessories, it's the same case, which I have no problems with, interchangeable ear tips, and the cable itself, while it looks the part with the gunmetal color scheme, it feels a little bit flimsy and rather thin. So the flip side is that it's light and it doesn't weigh you down, but doesn't feel as sturdy as I would have liked for an IEM cable. As for the IEM designs themselves, they are as plain as you would ever want a plain IEM to be. Simple, metallic-like powder-coated grey finish onto the faceplate with the engraving of the IEM name and company brand on each faceplate, and a black colored resin shell, which I actually like because how it sounds is worlds away from the word plain. As for fit and comfort, the nozzle is a bit on the longer side, so it goes a little deeper into your ear, but despite the amount of driver types, it's not too big, and it has enough gentle curves on the body so it won't be applying any additional pressure on your ear, so it's only about getting used to how deep this IEM will go, and once you get used to that, then this IEM is relatively comfortable. Now let's talk about sound. For bass, this is not an IEM for bass hit. You hear the punch and slam, but it's definitely not very impactful. However, the sub bass has a little bit of rumble on the deep end, and it gives that bass note a little bit of texture, but as an overall, there's enough in the bass to present itself as an accompaniment to the track. It's a relatively clean and clear bass note, but I can imagine some may want a little bit more slam and impact. In fact, Kiwi Ear's own Dolce has more weight and punch to the bass note compared to the Quintet. However, this does have an impact on other frequencies. Let's explore. For mid-range, it's so clean, it's so lean because of how the lower frequencies are tuned. If you're looking for a bit more warmth or that lush presentation, the Quintet is not it. The bass notes do not overwhelm anything in the mid-range, they stay where they are as an accompaniment to the track. However, this is another all-in-one presentation where the vocals and the instruments are on the same plane. On some tracks, I hear the instruments a lot clearer than I hear the vocals, so if you're all about vocal intimacy or highlight, again, the Quintet is not the IEM for you. However, if you like to receive your music as a whole, then the Quintet is great at delivering that, and there's another reason why. Stay tuned. For treble, there's enough sparkle and high to the treble to make vocals to sound open and clear, while having enough treble extension to give instruments that air. Trumpet sounded open, airy, and its attack is sharp and distinct. However, I don't personally feel it ever reaches the realm of sharpness or sibilance for me personally. However, whenever treble sounds this sparkly, I'll always put a mild caution for treble sensitive people. If you're looking for a smoother, darker sounding presentation, the Quintet will not be that IEM for you, but if you're looking for an open sounding presentation with sharper details, then the Quintet has that in spades. And I'm not sure if the planar or the piezo has anything to do with this region, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. For imaging and resolution, everything I've described earlier, from the amount of lower frequencies to the treble highs, simply presents a sound that is very well separated, and it gives the illusion of a wide soundstage because the sound, while presented as a whole, is a little bit recessed from my experience. However, imaging on the Quintet is fantastic. The details, positions of sounds are clear, and there's a good amount of separation between each sound, so while I'm receiving the entire music as a whole, I never feel overwhelmed due to how I feel the sound is presented, as mentioned earlier, which at $219, it's really a joy to experience. There's a sense of effortlessness to the sound, and it doesn't feel overly analytical. For power, it does take a bit to power this IEM. On my HiFiMan EF400, I'm on the 10 to 11 o'clock dial, which is typical for IEMs with this much driver configuration, but it does definitely demand more power than a single typical driver IEM. So in summary, I really hope Kiwi ears do not fall in the release everything at once at the expense of quality control bracket, if you get where I'm going with this, hint hint, because what they have going on right now is pretty great. And the Kiwi ears Quintet is one of a kind at the moment. And to have a quad bird at $219, and especially if you love a balanced sound presentation, this IEM has indeed set the bar. However, this is based on one person's experience and I'm curious to know yours. Would you pick up the Quintet, or what is your favorite Kiwi ears IEM so far? Comment below, let me know, and as always, thank you again to Linso for this experience and thank you all very much for watching. Till the next experience, take care.